Hoop.
Hey, Brendan. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
I know you had said originally you were maybe going to take the rest of this year off, right? So when did plans change for that?
I think it's very easy, man. Like, I'm a competitor, you know? So when I decided to take a little break of competition, everything was fine in that moment. But after that, like three weeks after, I'm starting to think again, like, damn, I want to fight. I want to fight. But then is when, my wife, my family helped me a lot with that. Like, hey, my wife and my coach is like, hey, you have to take a break. You have to take it serious, You have to rest. You be with your family, with your daughters. Make more nice moments with them first, So I have to calm myself. I had this fight with myself in my mind to take this break serious. But yeah, I mean, like after I decided to take the break, I was like, damn, I want to fight right now. That's the thing. But no, I think I made the best choice.
Yeah, so you went into it, I think, with some certain things you want to accomplish. Now that we're here again on a fight week, do you feel like you did everything you needed to during this break?
Man, I mean, my energy right now feels amazing. I feel so hyped, and it's crazy how my last 2 training camps I don't feel like this. I feel all the stress, all the responsibilities. In some point, that exploded in my mind, and I wasn't really enjoying this kind of moments. And now I feel like before, when you start your career at the UFC. And you have all the media talking with you and everything. Now it's like before. So, yeah, man, I try to just recover my body, recover my mind, heal some injuries were like bother me in my last training camps. And now I feel perfect.
Yeah, like when you came back for the second stint after being cut and everything, that was like 2.0 Brandon Moreno. Is this the 3.0 now?
Man, that's the thing. That's the goal, Obviously, I have to back up all my words. But that's my goal, to show to the world. And it's crazy, and I've been talking with my coaches about this. Like, I feel very frustrated because even when I lost my last 2 fights, I feel in my prime. I feel very strong. I feel stronger. I feel with better technique. I feel with more knowledge about the fight game. Just the result is not what I've been having in my last couple of fights. So now my goal is to show that to the world, to back up all my words, to back up all my hard work at the gym, and that's it.
Did you always feel like Amir Albazi was the right opponent that you would come back to? Obviously, you guys were scheduled to fight before.
Man, I just want to fight against another fighter. I've been in a lot of rematches, a lot of fights, 2 fights with Roybal, 2 fights with Cara France, 3 fights with Pantoja, 4 with Figueiredo. So a lot of rematches. So I just wanted to fight with other person, make another different game plan, and that's it. And everything was easier for me because all the game plan we did it in when we started the year, because we were supposed to fight in Mexico City. So now we cut some time making all the game plan because it was already done, and we went just to the hard work.
How do you approach that mentally? Because you're so used to fighting these same guys. I'm sure somewhere in your mind you know what works and what doesn't, and it's like almost ingrained into you, and now you're fighting more of the unknown. Does that take a mental adjustment at all?
I don't know, man. Hopefully. I mean, I have to make a nice performance this weekend. But the only thing I can say to you, I feel amazing. I feel ready. I feel fresh. I feel very motivated, and it's crazy. I mean, I never depend of motivation. I try to depend more about my discipline and be focused in all my goals in the future. But man, I feel really good.
A couple rule changes will be coming into place with this card, right? The 12 to 6 elbows and the definition of the grounded opponent. Is that something you took into consideration and will be in the back of your mind at all during the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I never been that guy who plays a lot with for example, the rule to touch the ground and don't touch the ground. I never play too much with those kind of rules in the gym, in my fights, so that doesn't bother me. Talking about the defense part. In the offense part, Amir is a good grappler, and if he gives me the opportunity to hit him in the face with a knee, I will. If not, it is what it is. I mean, it's interesting, you know. If I have the opportunity to throw the elbow, to throw the knee on the ground, I will.
What's the next rule you'd like to see changed in MMA?
The next rule, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Brandon, right here. You know, when you talk about coming back from that time off, how difficult was it for you not to come back and try and be part of Noche UFC this year?
Man, they offered me the fight. Actually, I mean, they offered me the fight against Amir at Noche UFC. And for sure, it was 100% very hard for me. Because, like I said before, I'm a competitor. And after I decided to take the break, 1 month after, I was talking with myself like, damn, I want to fight and I want to be on the grind again. But there is when I started this war in the battlefield on my mind and to calm myself, right? But yeah, it was very hard. Watch all the productions, watch all the nice environment of Noche UFC. What's happening that night was incredible. But at the same time, I was talking with my wife about it, like, I had the opportunity to enjoy all the show, you know. When you're in the fight, you're like so nervous. You're in the locker room, warming up with your coaches and your family. I mean, my wife, she's all stressful because I'm gonna have a fight soon. So I don't know. I had the opportunity to enjoy all the show, so that's it.
Dana says that's going to be a one-off at the Spear, but do you hope they'll do more like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he can do something with less production, with less money about it, you know, and because the Sphere is a nice environment. I like the lights and everything. So let's see if that happens again.
We were talking with Amir earlier, and he went over kind of the struggles that he's gone through in the past year and a half. And, you know, he had an ablation for his SVT. It's a heart condition. And then he had trouble with his arm, and he found out, you know, it was possible that he could have been paralyzed and he had to have emergency surgery. Does that speak to kind of his mental fortitude, the mental strength that he has?
I mean, he's a fighter, and we all know he's a fighter. He's a tough guy. And I think every one of us pass for different situations, you know. I can talk with by myself about all the different struggles I passed before, but it is what it is. I mean, talks really good about Amir, and I have to be aware about it because I know he's gonna be very motivated and he's gonna be healthy. He's gonna be ready to fight.
And he's obviously thinking about a title shot with a win. Do you think if you get the win here, you can step in and face the winner of Pantoja and Kayasakura?
Yes, or they can make their rematch against Kaikara France. You know, the last fight between them was very close. Personally, I think Kaikara France won that battle. But let's see what happened. But for sure, if he get a victory against a former champion, his name is going to be very hard in the conversation for the title next.
What are your thoughts on Kai Asakura coming in and getting an immediate title shot? Because outside of when the UFC has purchased Strikeforce or Pride, we really haven't seen that often.
Man, I think it's positive. I think it's a positive thing for the division because I don't know. I think all the division is strong. Like we have younger fighters, a new generation, very strong with good records, with amazing performances. But at the same time, at the top 5, everything looks like very stuck. You know, like Brandon Moreno having rematches with everybody, and that's it. You know, I think it's very fresh for the flyweight division to come to bring a guy like Kai Asakura, a good striker who can bring a different perspective of the roster, you know, of the top 5, and it's gonna be a interesting match between Pantoja and him.
Last one for me. Who do you see coming out ahead in that match?
Oof, man. I mean, I can't go against Pantoja. You know, he beat me 3 times in the past, and that is what it is. He's very tough, and it's weird. He has a weird survival ability, you know, because I remember my last fight against him. at the end of the 4th round, I saw his face. He was like done. And he find a way to take my back and stay there. I mean, the 5th round was kind of boring, but he won, With Roybal, the same. Like the 4th, 5th round, he started to get a lot of punches in his face, and he survived. The same with Ersex in some points of the fight. So that's a real ability, man. That's a real ability. But let's see what happened with Kaya Sakura, because UFC is on a whole different level.
Thank you.
Of course.
Brendan, you mentioned dealing with a bunch of pressure, especially going into the last couple of fights. This will be your 8th straight main event or championship fight in the UFC, 9th fight since the start of things with Brandon Royval. Can you just explain a little bit what some of that pressure is? And it's not a side we hear very much of from athletes. So can you just talk a little bit about what some of that pressure is and how it impacts just preparation and day-to-day and even the love of the sport for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, thinking a little bit about it, like the fierce Mexican-born champion, the guy from a country, a huge country, who's putting a lot of support on a person. That person is me. With that being said, like the responsibilities it's not just the training camp, it's not just the fights. Now it's about the media, the responsibilities, the travels, the media tours and all that stuff. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a pussy. Maybe I'm a weak person. Maybe other fighter can say like, "Hey, that's nothing. Shut the fuck up and keep going." Maybe that's true. But talking about myself, I mean, that's something huge, And I've been on the grind like 2-3 years in a row, like fighting in amazing spot, being around the world, doing a lot of work, a lot of media. So I'm a human being, man. I'm a human being, and at some point that exploded in my mind. That's why I decided to take that break, just to be with my family, to be in my home for a few months, explore new hobbies I love to do, and that's it.
What were the new hobbies that you've taken? I mean, we know some of the hobbies that you already have, but you mentioned yesterday that you're not building too many Legos. What are the new hobbies that you've taken up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a collector, so I'm starting to collect Pokemon cards. I mean, I have a lot. I have officially 14 months collecting Pokemon cards, and my collection, I think, is very nice now. And I start to learn and read more about coffee. I love coffee, so I start to read about the quality of the beans, the grind, and all that stuff. I start to do mountain bike. That sport is very cool. It's dangerous because if you fail hard, but it's very cool. It's a really nice exercise, and that's it, man. Just be with my family, enjoy around my loved ones, and that's it.
A favorite coffee that you've found yet?
I mean, I'm living in Las Vegas. I know where are you from? You're from Las Vegas?
No, I'm from Vancouver.
Okay, I mean, I have a few coffee roasters there where the coffee is really good, but I love to buy the grain, the bean, and grind it in my home for sure. That's the best way to take coffee.
100%. Connect with Danny Gay. He's got a nice setup.
Oh, he told me he's a coffee lover as well.
Brandon, obviously your last fight with Royval, very close fight, split decision. How do you reflect back on that fight right now? Did something happen in that fight that prompted the decision for you to want to take a long layoff?
Oof, I think it was the break point. That's it. I said this before, I don't want to put any excuse. I think Brandon Royval is doing an amazing job right now. He's a tough guy, with amazing rhythm in the middle of the fight. But I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like that night was that kind of night when your mind is not there, and that's very frustrating, because I did all the training camp, the elevation. I leave my family for 2 months. Really nice sparring sessions, everything. And then in the fight, I wasn't there. My body was there throwing punches, But my mind, I don't know, man. That's very frustrating for me.
Yeah, because, we've seen you there fight long fights with high-level opposition, and you always have that ability to push in the championship rounds, and maybe that wasn't there against Royval. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, man. And again, no excuses. I mean that I don't want to come here and start to put a lot of excuses. Just and I think it's very normal between fighters. Maybe you can ask other fighters like, hey, you have fights where you feel like your mind wasn't there. Like they're gonna say yes, and that night was one of mine.
Are you preparing yourself coming in on Saturday night for another 5-round war?
Yeah, always. I mean, I respect every one of my opponents, and I'm expecting the best of them. You know, I'm expecting the best from Amir Albazi. I know what I say, like, he's very motivated. He's ready to win. He wants the title, and man, I feel ready for that. Just my energy feels different now, man.
Yesterday, I seen you put hands for the first time on your custom fight shorts.
Ooh,
I
beautiful.
was wondering if you could talk about the meaning behind the design.
I think at the end you are the judges, and you are the real judges here. But man, I love those ones. You know,
Look pretty cool.
Are very cool. Maybe at the top 3 of all the custom shorts UFC make in the past. I mean, you are the judge.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys.
One more right here. You know, Brandon, there was a time not too long ago where the flyweight division looked like it was going to be out of the UFC. I mean, you left for one fight, a couple of fighters left, and there were talks of cutting the division. And now we're coming off just a couple of weeks ago where people were calling Royval and Tatsuro Taira one of the best fights of the year. And the flyweight division is red hot. So what does it mean to you to have been part of that division's resurgence?
I mean, we have to say thanks to, I don't know, like destiny, life, whatever. Like, we have the opportunity to keep the division. I mean, obviously UFC and maybe Cejudo, he had a nice performance against TJ Dillashaw. You know, just to UFC to keep the division and give us another opportunity to show all of that you are saying right now. Like, we are amazing athletes. I really believe is talking about the skills. From the bottom of my heart, I believe this is the best division ever, you know. Obviously, I don't know if it's because we are small or something, but the people sometimes don't talk too much about it. But talking about, I mean, every fighter at the roster has an amazing wrestling, has an amazing jiu-jitsu, amazing striking. They're so complete in his game. Like, I mean, the flyweight division is here to stay. I believe that. And right now it's fireworks. It's on fire. And all the new generation, all the new guys are coming. The top 5, what I said before, it's a little bit stuck, but the talent is incredible, right? So, man, we're the best.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hey, Amir. Welcome back, man. I know the journey here hasn't been easy, but to be sitting in that chair and be back here in a fight week in a main event, what does that mean to you?
To be honest, it feels amazing. I'm just grateful and happy to finally be back to another fight week and also a main event. So this means a lot, and it's a great opportunity for me to put my stamp back on this weight class and show people what I'm made of and what I can do in this division.
I know you're probably tired of talking about everything you've been through, but I guess for anyone who's uneducated about kind of the hardships of the past year plus, can you kind of sum them up one last time?
Yeah, so before my Kai Kara France fight, I was struggling with some health issues. I didn't really know what it was, but after my fight, it showed that I had something called supraventricular tachycardia. I think it's the medical name for it. It's basically a irregular heartbeat where my heart rate would go up to 239. So I had to do a heart surgery. So coming back after that heart surgery, I kept training. I got the fight against Brandon Moreno in Mexico City. And then my left arm literally stopped. I couldn't lift my arm up. I couldn't jab. I couldn't do anything. I still kept training. Like, even the coaches were like, "You're crazy." I keep throwing just right hands and trying to switch southpaw. After I got my first MRI, the first doctor actually told me, he said, "You shouldn't be fighting anymore." He said, "Find a 9 to 5. I kept going to different doctors, and when the UFC doctors found out, they literally pulled me out of the fight, and I had to go straight into surgery. They told me, "You're like one punch away from actually getting paralyzed." So after that surgery, here I am, the longest break in my career, actually, athletic career. After 6 months after the surgery, started training. And I'm just grateful. I've been taking it step by step. It's been just obstacles after obstacles, but I'm grateful to finally be here.
Was there some dark days during that time? I imagine there was, that maybe you thought you wouldn't get back to the spot.
Yeah, all the time. Like, especially imagine going into a doctor's office. I'm thinking, you're gonna just tell me do this, do that, and he tells me, you should stop, man. I'm thinking, I really didn't know how to even react to that. So it was a lot of hard moments, but I tried to see the light in the end of the tunnel. I try to believe. I'm a big believer in God, so I believe that my path is written. I knew I'm going to come back. I had the feeling that this is going to be just another hurdle I need to overcome, and I'm right. Here I am.
What did you have to do physically to, I guess, get clearance and have them say, you're good to go from, you could be paralyzed from one punch to you can main event a 5-round title fight at the highest level, or a 5-round fight?
I had a good surgeon. I don't know really what but they made a lot of adjustment. They kind of opened me up from the front of the neck here and put 2 artificial discs. So I have a titanium neck now, I guess. So.
What does it say about the UFC and what they think of you that they brought you back and here you are, the fight you were supposed to get, a main event at this level?
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the UFC that they believe in my abilities and they know what I can do. I'm a natural born finisher. You can see on my track record. I always go for the finish. Of course, some fights are tougher than others and the competition is high, so it doesn't always go to a finish, but that's what I always bring to the table.
And there's a title fight in less than 6 weeks, Pantoja and Sakara. Do you feel like if you win this, you will be fighting the winner of that?
Of course, I'm going to keep my eyes on it, but for right now, my main focus is getting back into the cage and Brandon Moreno on Saturday, and that's it.
What do you expect out of him? Because he's taken a layoff too, I think obviously for his own reasons, but some people thought he wasn't going to come back maybe till next year. So what do you think that says about him that he decided to come back early and take a fight against you?
Yeah, that's up to him. We all deal with different stuff in our lives. I dealt with mine, he dealt with his. If he's ready and I'm ready, let's do it.
Amir, you're right. Mentioned that title fight that's upcoming. What are your thoughts on Sakura getting a title shot immediately upon coming into the promotion? Because that's not something we see very often.
No, I think it shocked everyone. I know there's a lot of people in the division that could fight for the title too, but I also get why the UFC is doing like they're doing, since Pantoja kind of almost cleaned up the whole top 5, top 6. I'm the only one that he haven't fought. So I get why they give him the title shot. Sakura, for real fans, he's a tough matchup. He's not an easy guy, someone random from a different organization. So he's a good fighter. It just adds more excitement to the roster. For me, I'm looking, first of all, to get back in, get a win, get a finish on Saturday night, and then I can talk about taking the title next.
And when we talk about Brandon Moreno, I mean, it's almost kind of crazy. He's actually a year younger than you. So what are your thoughts on where he's at in his career? Because it seems like he might be a little bit younger but has more mileage.
Yeah, definitely. He fought a lot of main events, a lot of tough, hard 5 rounds against Figueiredo several times, against Pantoja. For me, I don't focus on age. I really just think it's a number. And like you say, how much mileage you have on your body from training, from fighting. So if he's younger or older than me, I feel the best I ever felt. I actually feel like I'm improving more and more every day. So I don't feel like age is a factor.
Last one for me. We're going to see some new rules introduced at this card. Obviously, the 12-6 elbows and the definition of a downed opponent has changed. So is that something that you took into consideration during training camp?
Yeah, of course. More violence for me, so I'm happy.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Amir, just going off that, is that something in training that you did look at and say, if I'm in this position now, this works, where it wasn't available to me before?
Yeah, of course. There's the 12-6 elbows, but it's not that much of a difference. It's for people that fight, it's going to be easy to kind of work around it. But I definitely have my eye on it, and especially with the downed opponent. So hopefully if that opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it.
What is the next rule change you would like to see happen in MMA?
There is probably maybe some soccer kicks involved. Like, I'm a grappler, but like, I like violence too at the same time. So the more violence we bring into the game, I think the more exciting it gets.
Amir, back here. I just wanted to know if there's any extra pressure this weekend, just because Tyra and Royval kind of put on, like, I mean, arguably one of the best mixed martial arts fights of the year a couple weeks back at 125. So is there any added pressure to go out and deliver in front of the crowd in Edmonton?
No, to be honest, I never feel that pressure. Like, most of my fights, I've been finishing the fights, and they just come there. If I do my game and fight like I do, I always go for the finish instinctively. So it's nothing I feel like I need to do extra to try to go out there and finish. I just need to fight. When I go in there and fight like Amir Albazi does, he gets the finish.
And then I've got to ask about the whole Muhammad Mokaev situation, because I know you'd kind of said in the past, listen, not on the best terms with the guy, but I would have liked to fight him at some point. You know what I mean? Do you still kind of feel that way?
He's not in the UFC anymore, unfortunately, but it is what it is. If they decide to bring him back, I'm more than happy to welcome him back to the division, just for fun.
Thanks, bro.
Right here, Amir. You spent some time down in Arizona with Henry Cejudo at Fight Ready. What is it like being in the room, picking Henry's brain, getting you prepared for fights like this?
Man, it's been an amazing experience. I moved from Las Vegas last year. I moved to Phoenix to Fight Ready. I have Henry Cejudo, I have Eddie Cha, I have Santino DeFranco, and the whole team. There's a lot of good guys in Fight Ready, so I've been evolving a lot. I'm a different fighter, and you guys going to see on Saturday night.
He obviously had spent some time training with Brandon before. Were you able to pick his brain on, maybe some of the tendencies that Brandon is going to bring and some things to watch out for on Saturday night?
Yeah, he knows Brandon really well. They train together, and he knows his game very good. So, of course, I'm going to pick his brain, see what he thinks. He gave me a lot of good insights. But I always focus on me. I focus on my game. Both me and Brandon trained together when I got to Vegas. So he felt me, I felt him. But I always focus on what I going to do. Never too much on what my opponent's going to do.
If you could give a prediction on how you feel the fight is going to go on Saturday night, what would that be?
I'm looking for a finish. So probably a finish in second or third round.
Thank you.
Sorry, Amir, just one more. Brandon has the custom shorts that everyone's sharing online. Did you get custom shorts or even asked to?
No, I kind of got a bit disappointed. I didn't get any custom shorts. I see them everywhere with Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria, Brandon Moreno. But hey, it's all good. Like, I'm not here for some custom shorts. If I put a good performance, get a good name, Brandon deserves it. He's been a great champion. He's been around for a long time. So if anyone that deserves custom shorts is going to be Brandon Moreno. All respect to him. I'm looking to put my name out there, like cement my legacy, and I'm probably going to get some custom-made shorts.
Yeah, next time for a title fight, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.